Hello everybody, this is just a short video on this Arix. I don't know if you can see that Kemp, little bogle that I just purchased. It was Father's Day here a couple of weekends ago, and my children gave me a gift voucher to spend at the garden centre, and this is what I spent it on. It's very full, very bushy. I haven't had a look at the roots yet, but I'm not going to do very much with the roots at this time of year. I might have a quick look at the Nabari in a minute. I'm seeing this tree as a kind of informal upright, something at that sort of angle. This being the new leader. That's better, with it propped up so it's not wobbling about. It's got quite nice taper. It's got a lot of branches emanating from one spot here, so I'll be removing some of those. And it has this large branch which just goes off all the way out to here, which I'm also going to lose. But I think it has some potential. Okay, so here's the tree out of its pot. It does seem to have some nice healthy roots right down there. It's not as pot bound as I thought it might be, but it does have some dry spots within the compost just here. I might have to give this a good soaking in a bucket or something once I've finished this operation. I just want to... I'm not having to go down very far to find some roots. A lot of this stuff is very loose on top. Possibly there just to make it look nice. I don't know what that is. Always a bit paranoid that I'm going to import some vine weevil. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll see I had a spot of bother with vine weevil this last winter. There are some surface roots, but not many, and not very nice. Nothing to write home about, or make a YouTube video about. You can see that I will need to do a proper investigation, and maybe lose some of these crossing roots when I repot this properly, which I might do in the autumn. rather than next spring, just in case there are any vine weevil lurking in here. Okay, I think that's all I really wanted to do. So, at least now I have a couple of outward facing roots there. I think I might have to dig deeper to find anything more substantial. But again, that's going to have to wait. It's not a good time of year. And we're supposedly having a mini heat wave here in the UK at the moment. It's sticky and warm, but I wouldn't call it overly hot. And the sun hasn't been out all day, so probably up in that there London. Okay, that's the tree back in its pot. And first thing I want to do is to get rid of this large side branch just here. So, gonna go in there and chop that off, and then work my way back into the trunk. Branch is almost too thick for these cutters. But not quite. I think now that's gone. The image of informal upright becomes clearer. I don't envisage it being much shorter than this, but I'm now just going to trim back some of these branches to a slightly more manageable size. Trying to bring them back to a new leader. As you can see, there's a lot of new growth this year. This tree is healthy. Get rid of that altogether as it's going straight up. Likewise this one. Take off that as it's growing inside a curve. And again with this one. I might leave that for now until I fully establish where my roots are. Okay, so I've got 2 branches there coming from the same point. So I'm going to take off the larger one of the 2. This branch may not be needed in the final design, but I'm going to leave it there for now. Okay. Quite a nasty scar there, but I might work on that a little more to refine it, but it'll close over given time. This is pretty much the angle I foresee for this tree. I still haven't fully decided on a front. As I say, I think I'll wait for that until we have a better view of the roots. But what I'm going to do now is thin out some of the foliage that's going directly from the trunk on the inside of bends. Some of these bits that are growing straight up, and generally a bit of a tidy up where I've got a lot of branches emanating from one point and I don't want any reverse taper there, and then we'll come back and have another look. Okay, so that's the preliminary work completed. Let's give it a bit of a spin round. I've cut it back significantly. All I'm going to do with it now is put it in a bucket of water for a couple of hours to make sure all those dry spots in the compost are fully saturated, and then I'm going to let it grow and recover. I'm happy that I've removed a lot of branches from this area, so I'm not going to get any reverse taper, and I think any more branch selection is best waited for the winter time when the tree's lost all of its needles, and I'll be able to see the structure more clearly, and then I'll make some decisions about which of these lower branches will stay and go based on whatever I find when I get a really good look at the roots. So what I've cut off, that's it, just there, just a bit. I'll try and take some cuttings from that, and we'll see how they go. Thanks for watching.